What is up and welcome to FPL Today. I'm your host JNO, welcome to the channel and welcome back to What We Learned. It's been a while because game weeks have been coming thick and fast, and when that happens I will be live streaming just because I won't get as much time to edit and get the video out as quickly. But we have a couple of days before game week 19, just before Christmas, so first of all, Merry Christmas, and second of all, let's get straight into this. So game week 18 was a bit of a mixed bag because, let's be honest, there were some massive results, some big scores, and some players that let a lot of people down. The first game we're going to look at is Manchester City versus Tottenham Hotspurs. A lot of people hoping Spurs could be the team to give Man City their first defeat, because unless someone defeats them, they're going to walk away with this Premier League. However, that wasn't the case, as Man City went and won 4-1 against Spurs, outclassing them for most of the game, although Spurs did have opportunities, but just couldn't make the most of them. Straight from the off, Man City were clearly in the ascendancy, and it seemed like they were the most cohesive unit out of the two teams. They scored early with a goal from a corner being put away by Gundogan in under 15 minutes. The marking was terrible for this goal, by the way, as nobody was anywhere near Ilkay Gundogan to even challenge him to win this header, putting Man City, a team that have been able to dominate games, 1-0 up so early on, meant Tottenham Hotspurs were on the back pedal from the beginning. However, they did try and push to get an equaliser, coming close a couple of times as they did have a period of pressure before half time as they were trying to get back into the game. And it was during this period where an overzealous tackle from Harry Kane should have probably seen him get a red card, with studs up straight into Sterling's leg. Dele Alli also in this period repeated the trick, the same thing on Kevin De Bruyne later on in the game, which should have also seen a red, and Otamendi, and I've got him in my team, so there's a little bit of bias here, but I will still admit that should have been a red card for his high boot that could have potentially kicked Kane in the face. When we have situations like the Pogba situation recently and the Sadio Mane one earlier on in the season, where if your play is dangerous and puts your opponent in danger, then you should get a red card. All three of those tackles should, strictly under those set of rules, be a red. So we need some consistency from the referees on this, because it seems unfair for someone like Pogba to go and get a red card. Not that I'm a Man United fan. And then players like Dele Alli, Harry Kane and Nicolas Otamendi get away with it. The challenge didn't have an effect on how Sterling or Kevin De Bruyne played, however, as Kevin De Bruyne was played through and blasted the ball past Hugo Lloris to make it 2-0. And for the record, Raheem Sterling, before he went on and scored, does need to learn to get over the ball when he shoots, because from a penalty and also from another chance he blazed over the bar. But Sane then did find Sterling for a tap-in which he couldn't blaze over the bar for the third. And then Sterling was also played through again, and Eric Dyer and Lloris could get nothing on the ball for Sterling to score the fourth. And for those of us with Man City defenders, Christian Eriksen ruined the party, meaning we were far behind those that own Sane, Sterling or Kevin De Bruyne, as Eriksen managed to get a late consolation goal to make the result 4-1 in the end. The players that stood out in this one, Ilkay Gundogan is one of them at 5.3 million. He managed to get 13 points with 1 goal and 1 assist and 2 bonus points. He actually did have good underlying stats as well, with a minute per chance at 27.7 and a minute per chance created at 83 minutes. So he wasn't a creative workhorse, but the chance he created was put away and he got a few chances. At 5.3 million away into the Man City midfield, however, with their rotation, that would be extremely risky and you need probably a lot of injuries to make that work. But it's good to see him back in and a possibility for a couple of game weeks. Then we have two very familiar names, and Kevin De Bruyne has just not been put on this list purely because I think for value these two are better. Sterling at 8.5 million continues to get points with 12 points in this game from 2 goals. He didn't get any bonus points, probably because those misses really hurt his bonus point potential. However, he had a chance every 15 minutes and he created a chance every 30 minutes. And then Leroy Sane finally returned to the party with 10 points from 2 assists and 1 bonus point, getting a chance every 42.5 minutes and creating a chance every 21 minutes. Now for me, my favourite way into this side at the moment is Raheem Sterling or David Silva, despite the fact he was rested for this one. Apparently he asked for the game off. I'm not going to go into it too much more because there's been some random and strange rumours put out about why David Silva didn't play. If you can afford Kevin De Bruyne, he also looks like a good option, but I think when you have the likes of Sterling and Silva in that side, you don't really need to spend the big cash on Kevin De Bruyne. Moving on to the next game, we're looking at Watford versus Huddersfield, and a lot of people own Watford players. Richarlison is one of them, Firmina, Mariappa, Ziegler, So a lot of people were looking for a good Watford performance in this game for their game week score. However, the complete opposite happened as Watford players really let the side down, and the first goal came for Huddersfield from a goalmouth scramble and poor defending from Watford, which allowed Kachunga to score. However, Kachunga was off twice in that piece of play where it shouldn't have been a goal allowed, and you know, with momentum, the first goal scored can change a game. So I think Watford were very unlucky with this because Kachunga was clearly offside, but however, they conceded a goal, they have to get on with it, and another cross was put into the box which the Watford defence had already seemed to switch off for, and they couldn't deal with the cross into the box, and Mooy managed to bundle it home, making it 2-0 to Huddersfield. Then Huddersfield go and get a man sent off for the third game in a row, Troy Deeney making a ill-advised and unnecessary tackle through the back of a Huddersfield player. It wasn't malicious, it wasn't really terrible, but there was no need to make the challenge, and he saw red for it, which meant they were now playing with 10 men, which wasn't ideal as they were 2-0 down. Huddersfield then broke and had a penalty claim, and Holebas apparently also got hit in the face. However, the way he went down, you'd think he got punched in the face, and that allowed Poitre to actually gather the ball up while the Watford defence kind of switched off and easily run through and score. Holebas just needs to be a little bit tougher, which was said on Match of the Day as well, and I kind of agree, because he went down like someone had actually punched him. Then the man that I keep saying won't continue to score went and scored as Decore managed to blast home a beautiful volley, but then later on he kind of cancelled himself out as he gave away a penalty which Aaron Mooy put away. Aaron Mooy, a player I suggested could have a good run because of Huddersfield fixtures. If you're part of the stream, that's where I made that suggestion. So if you haven't joined the stream yet, we have a great bunch of guys involved in the stream where we bounce ideas off each other. It's a lot of fun, and I have a few bevies, so I occasionally get a bit tipsy. The players that stood out, Aaron Mooy at 5.3 million looks like a great budget option for the next couple of games, with their fixture list being quite good for Huddersfield. 15 points from 2 goals, 3 bonus points, and he had a chance and created a chance every 30 minutes. And Poitre at 5.2 million, 13 points from 1 goal and 2 assists, 2 bonus points and a chance every 45 minutes, and he created 1 chance in the game, and he had a chance created at 90 minutes. Whilst I'm not suggesting Huddersfield players are season keepers, right now with their run of fixtures and with how congested all the fixtures are, the fact that some teams will be more tired than Huddersfield potentially means Huddersfield could pick up some points, which would really help you in the FPL ranking. We then look at the Bournemouth versus Liverpool game, and I had a feeling Liverpool would score a few in this one purely because Bournemouth's defence isn't that good at keeping clean sheets, and Liverpool's attack have some great attacking talent there, Coutinho being the standout man in this one. Coutinho and Salah both have been on fire and showed early signs of what was to come, as Coutinho hit the woodwork from a free kick, and Salah, with his usual cutting in from the right, managed to get a left-footed shot that went over the bar. Coutinho then did his best Lionel Messi impression as he received the ball from Andrew Robertson on the left, dribbled all the way to the goal, making the Bournemouth defence backtrack on themselves and put the ball away at the near post. Then a corner, which Firmino was determined not to let go out of play, was put back into the box for Dejan Lovren to have a diving header scored. This is a part of Liverpool's play where they don't give up on any ball, which the Bournemouth defence clearly thought this ball was going out. Firmino kept it in, and it made it 2-0 for Liverpool. And then Salah tried to make it 3-0 with a beautiful 1-2 give and go with Coutinho, which unfortunately volleyed straight at the keeper. But literally 2 minutes later, he broke on the right, cut inside, and again could not be stopped and scored his 20th goal of the season. And in the second half to make it 4, Coutinho on the left cuts back on his right, puts a ball in which Firmino potentially was offside for, but Firmino managed to head it home, giving Firmino a good performance in this one as well, and giving Liverpool the good and convincing 4-0 victory. And the players that stood out, were actually looking at 3 players in this one. Dejan Lovren is the first at 5.3 million. Liverpool's defence actually do really well at home, which I think because of their mistakes I often overlook. However, 13 points with 1 goal and a clean sheet is a great return from your defender, and 1 bonus point. However, he only had 1 chance in the 90 minutes and created no chances, so the likelihood of that continuing is slim. However, Coutinho and Firmino were the standout players in this one, even though Salah did also get on the score sheet, with Coutinho getting 13 points from 1 goal and 1 assist and 2 bonus points, with a chance in every 12.4 minutes and a chance created in every 22. And then Firmino at 8.6 million at the time of recording this, 12 points from 1 goal and 1 assist, 3 bonus points, and he had a chance created in every 38 minutes. So Liverpool still a great way to get some attacking players that can score points for you in your FPL side. We then go to the Stoke versus West Ham game, and West Ham suddenly look like a team that have FPL options in it, which they haven't looked like for the entirety of this season so far. Coming off the back of 2 big wins in 2 London derbies with 2 clean sheets, everyone is watching this game to see who they could be bringing in for that double game week in game week 22. First moment of note was Shawcross getting a header which hit the woodwork, and then Shaqiri potentially getting fouled for West Ham to win possession of the ball. West Ham then broke and Lanzini went down in the box, and I'll be fair, even though I follow West Ham, Lanzini dived. The Stoke defender was pulling out the challenge, Lanzini was looking for the penalty, and if he gets punished for it, which could happen after this video is recorded, then he probably deserves it. But that means we are losing a great FPL option because Lanzini looked fantastic in this game. Mark Noble would then put that penalty away and be subbed off for Declan Rice, who could be a nice cheap 5th midfielder, although he doesn't look like he's got any attacking potential. But West Ham continue to build on their recent displays, making me have to eat my own words when I said Moyes wouldn't be a good West Ham manager, as they look very, very organised now and have good players in that side. Arnautovic coming close a lot and could have scored a hat-trick the way he was playing, but finally Arnautovic does put the ball in the back of the net with a 1-2 from Lanzini, and he manages to put it home, and right now he looks like the attacking option to be bringing into your sides, with Lanzini potentially being penalised for that dive. And then West Ham put the final nail in the coffin as Lanzini plays it through to Saka to score and make it 3-0. So right now that's another clean sheet for West Ham, and also points for their attacking players against the Stoke side away. So I reckon West Ham could be almost as beneficial to us as the Tottenham team in that double game week, especially as Tottenham have been letting us down a lot recently. Lanzini, standout option at 6.8 million, depending on how long he's out for if he does get penalised. He got 15 points from 3 assists and 3 bonus points. He only had 1 chance in the entire game, but he created a chance every 23 minutes. And then Arnautovic at 6.8 million, 9 points from 1 goal, 1 bonus point. Had a chance every 13.2 minutes and created a chance every 40 minutes. So those are the 2 that stood out, but also Ogbonna, Masaku and Cresswell all look like good defensive options, as well as Adrian potentially being a good keeper if you're looking for someone for that position. Then we have other performers, and apologies that there's no Everton players in this, but I will say off the bat that Wayne Rooney, Kenny and Calvert-Lewin all look like good options right now, but I didn't get a chance to see that game because I was at work and there's no match of the day to go and watch it back, so I'm not going to go too in detail about how Everton did. However, Everton do have players you should be looking at off of the back of their recent performances. But the other performers I'm looking at, Christian Benteke, although it looks like he's now out again, did come back for the game against Leicester, and at 7.6 million he got 11 points from 1 goal and 3 bonus points with a chance in each half, which isn't too bad, although I'd need to see more from him to be considering bringing him in. And I'm pretty sure he also got an assist, but I clearly haven't put that on the graphic. It's Christmas, it's a busy time, I'm messing stuff up, apologies. However, also Marcos Alonso is another player I'm looking at. 6.9 million, you know what you're getting with Marcos Alonso. A defender in a Chelsea side that could potentially get goals, and in this one he did both. He got a clean sheet and got a goal, which means 14 points to him with 3 bonus points, and he had a chance every 22 minutes and created a chance every 44 minutes. So Alonso, if you still have him, is a great shout, but I just feel like there are defenders that could get around the same points for a cheaper value. Anyway guys, thank you so much for tuning in to this episode as always. If I don't get another video out, of course, because it is a busy period right now, then Merry Christmas to everyone. I hope you get everything you want and you get to spend it with your family. Thank you guys so much for all the support on the channel recently, in the stream, with the videos. We are slowly creeping towards 5k, which will be amazing to reach. So thank you guys so much for all the support. If you want to support the channel in any more ways, there is of course the links in the description. Patreon, new merchandise, join the flock, and of course jump into the stream if you want to ask me a question live. I'm always happy to answer questions on that. I've been JNO, this has been FPL Today, and remember, it's all about the game.